Mistake 1. You only shampoo once, rinse, and think your scalp is clean, but it's not. You see, that first wash just breaks through the surface layer of old product and oil sitting on top. It's not actually reaching the buildup stuck to your scalp underneath. The second wash is the one that actually cleanses. And no, shampooing twice won't strip your hair, only if you're using a harsh sulfate shampoo. But with a sulfate-free one, 2 washes is exactly what your scalp needs. Quick first lather to break the surface. Then the second one is where you go thorough and really work it in with your fingertips. And the thing is, if you're only washing once, everything you apply after that is just sitting on top of buildup instead of absorbing into clean hair. But this is just mistake 1 of 15. So lock in to make sure you're not killing your hair. Because mistake 2 is washing your hair with bar soap. Some of you are literally using the same bar you wash your body with on your hair. And bar soap has a pH around 9 to 10, while your hair naturally sits at about 4.5 to 5.5. So when you hit your hair with something that alkaline, it forces the cuticle layers wide open. And once those cuticles are pried open, your hair can't hold moisture. It tangles way easier and it snaps at every bend point. And for us with coily hair, we've got a lot of bend points. So please just use an actual shampoo. Even a cheap sulfate-free one for a couple dollars is infinitely better than bar soap on your hair. Now, I actually put together a free cheat sheet with every mistake and the fix for each one, so you can reference it on wash day. So grab it after subscribing to Glowup Guy. Now, your wash routine is getting sorted, your shampoo is right, and your scalp is actually getting clean. But here's the thing about a glow up. You could have the healthiest hair in the room and still kill the impression in 2 seconds with bad breath. It doesn't care how good your hair looks or how fresh your lineup is. If your breath is off, that's what people remember. And we've all been there. You're talking to someone, everything's normal, and then you get hit and you just can't look at them the same. There's no second chances with bad breath. That's why I've been using Crystal Breath from Breath Death, and I need to put you on because it's different from anything I've tried before. So these are exploding mint crystals. You pour them on your tongue and they crackle and dissolve in seconds. No chewing, no waiting, nothing like that. And they don't just mask bad breath, they actually kill the bacteria that's causing it. They're powered by zinc, which attacks the sulfur compounds in your mouth that create the smell. So you're not just covering it up with some fake mint flavor, you're actually eliminating it. And it keeps you fresh for up to 4 hours. So you're not stressing about it in the middle of a conversation or halfway through a date. They're all natural, 0 calories, dentist approved, and they come in this pocket-sized tube you can just keep on you. I've got one in my pocket and another at my desk. So anytime I need to be ready, I'm ready. And they come in 2 flavors. The original mint, which hits hard, and then the new lemon mint, which honestly tastes like electric lemonade. Because Breath Death is sponsoring today's video, they're offering you an amazing deal. When you click the link in the description or scan this QR code, you will receive an additional 10% off. It's an exclusive deal you won't get anywhere else. So click the link to get started on your mission to kill bad breath. Alright, so your wash day is sorted, your breath is handled. But even with the right shampoo, there's something in your bathroom that could be quietly destroying everything. Mistake 3, hard water. If you moved to a new city or went away for college and your hair suddenly got worse, even though you didn't change anything in your routine, it's probably your water. If you ever put water in your hair and as soon as you leave the bathroom, it's completely dry again, it's because calcium and magnesium deposits build up on your hair and create this invisible film that blocks your products from absorbing. And for us, with low porosity hair, that's a double barrier because your cuticles are already tight and now you've got mineral buildup sitting on top of that. Your products literally cannot get in. The fix is a collating shampoo once a month or a shower filter for about $20. But hard water isn't the only invisible buildup working against you. Mistake 4, never clarifying. So you're washing weekly with your sulfate-free shampoo and then one day your products just stop working. And that's because sulfate-free shampoos don't strip everything. That's by design. But over weeks, product residue and mineral deposits start stacking up on your hair like layers of paint. And eventually, nothing can get through anymore. So once a month, use a clarifying shampoo for a full reset. I've linked some below and in the free cheat sheet. And honestly, this mistake is a big reason you struggle to get your curls to pop. Because there are guys walking around thinking they have dull, basic hair, when it's actually just buildup and tangles sitting on top of their real curls. But with one clarifying wash, and suddenly they're looking at a completely different texture. Now, on the flip side, if you're washing every single day, you're stripping the natural sebum before it even has a chance to protect your hair. Once a week is the sweet spot for most of us. But fixing your wash day doesn't matter if what you put on your hair after is wrong. That's why mistake 5 is oiling dry hair. So you grab your coconut oil, your shea butter, whatever you've got, and you rub it into dry hair, thinking you just moisturized. And then you're wondering why your hair is still dry, even after all that product. You see, not all oils even do the same thing. Batana, jojoba, and coconut oil are a few oils that actually gets inside the hair shaft because the molecules are small enough to pass through, and it reduces protein loss by almost 40% when you use it as a pre-wash treatment. But castor oil, mineral oil, shea butter, those molecules are way too big. They just coat the outside. Think of it like this. You're basically putting grease on top of nothing. So the fix is to wet your hair first, apply a water-based leave-in, and then seal with a lightweight oil like jojoba. But if you want a cheap option, try grapeseed. It's like $5 from any drugstore. Now, some of you are making this exact same oil mistake on your scalp, and it's actually even worse. That's why mistake 6 is oiling a fungal scalp. If your scalp was ever flaking and you thought it was dry, so you massaged oil in, you messed up. If those flakes are yellowish and kind of greasy, that's not dryness. That's seborrheic dermatitis, which is fungal. You're literally giving food to a fungus and making it worse every single time. And the reason those flakes never go away, no matter what you try, is because you keep oiling the infected area. So the fix here is Sulfur 8's anti-dandruff line. Use them on your scalp only and stop oiling. Now, if the flakes are white and papery, then yeah, that's actually dryness. But most guys assume dry when it's actually fungal. And speaking of misreading what your hair is telling you, mistake 7 is doing protein treatments without knowing if you even need them. So here's how you tell. If your hair feels stiff like steel wool and snaps when you pull it, you've got too much protein. But if it feels mushy and stretches like overcooked spaghetti before it breaks, that's too much moisture. And nobody really talks about this balance for us, but it determines whether your hair is strong and flexible or just brittle and breaking. Most 4C guys need way more moisture than protein. So a protein treatment once a month is plenty, and some guys only need it every 6 to 8 weeks. But just go with moisture first if you're unsure what your dry hair needs, because protein overload is way harder to fix. But even if your product balance is right, skipping one step makes all of it half as effective. Bringing me to mistake 8, deep conditioning without heat. So your regular conditioner smooths the outside of your hair, but the molecules are too large to actually get inside the shaft. Deep conditioner has smaller molecules that can pass through the cuticle and rebuild from within. But if you're low porosity, even deep conditioner can't get in properly because your cuticles are basically clamped shut. And a heat cap for about 20 minutes gently lifts the cuticle just enough for those molecules to pass through. Without heat, you'd need like an hour, and it's still not as effective. So if you've been deep conditioning and wondering why nothing ever changes, the missing heat is exactly why. Now, if you want all of these mistakes and fixes in one place, remember that free cheat sheet is linked below. But your products and treatments are only half the battle because the way you physically handle your hair is undoing all of it. Mistake 9, detangling dry. And if it feels like your comb or brush is taking all your hair out, that's because it literally is. Our hair has bend points at every coil, and when it's dry, the protein bonds at each bend go rigid. So any tension causes a clean break right at the curve, not at the ends. That's why you end up losing hair in clumps from the middle of the strand. So only detangle soaking wet with conditioner in for slip. Fingers first, then a wide tooth comb working from the ends up to the roots. And if your hair is long enough, section it into 4 to 6 parts first, or you're only reaching the surface. What you do right after detangling matters just as much though, because mistake 10 is rubbing your hair dry with a regular towel. And when researchers actually put towel-dried hair under a microscope, rubbing with them actually created visible damage to the cuticle. Those rough loops catch on your strands and rough up the outer layer, which is the exact layer that keeps moisture sealed in. So use a microfiber towel, or even just an old cotton t-shirt. Squeeze gently, never rub. And that same friction rule applies to your curl sponge too. Mistake 11, using the sponge on bone-dry hair. Now this is the same type of damage, just a different tool. The sponge creates friction against unprotected strands and absorbs whatever moisture your hair has left. So always mist first, then use a light leave-in, and then sponge with a racket comb or twist king gently. Repeat 2 to 3 times a week, maximum. Now, everything up to this point has been about your routine, but your lifestyle is still working against your hair. And mistake 12 is not protecting your hair before the gym. If your hair gets ruined after every workout, workout and you don't understand, here's why. You see, the salt in your sweat dries your hair out from the inside. And if you leave sweat sitting on your scalp until wash day, it mixes with your products and creates this grimy layer that clogs your follicles. So before your workout, mist your hair and apply a thin oil layer as a barrier. After, just rinse your scalp with water only, no shampoo, and reapply a light leave-in. And if you're in braids, a diluted apple cider vinegar rinse once a week clears the buildup without messing up your style. Now, while we're talking about protecting length, this next one is costing you more hair than you realize. Mistake 13, refusing to trim the ends of your hair. And I get it, you think you'll lose length. But when a strand splits at the end, that split actually travels up the hair shaft. So a split that starts as half a centimeter becomes 2 centimeters of damage that eventually snaps off anyway. You actually lose more length from not trimming than from a small refresh every 3 to 4 months. You only need to cut a few millimeters. Your hair will look thicker because you're removing the wispy, broken ends that make everything look thin. But that same paranoia is behind this next mistake. Mistake 14, leaving protective styles in way too long. You see, if you're keeping braids in for 3-4 months, after about 6 weeks, your new growth at the roots starts matting around the braids. And if those braids were installed tight, that constant tension on your hairline causes traction alopecia. And if your braider is ripping through your head to get it tight, that's the problem right there. That's permanent follicle damage, and your edges don't come back from that. So keep in your protective styles for 4 to 6 weeks. And if it hurts at the salon, it's already too tight. But none of these fixes matter if you're undoing them every single night without knowing. Mistake 15, sleeping on cotton. If you're using a cotton pillowcase, it's unleashing friction damage for 8 hours while you're unconscious, and the cotton is absorbing the moisture you spent all day putting in. Instead, use a satin durag, bonnet, or satin pillowcase, ideally both, and the difference by morning is immediate. But this next one isn't a product mistake. It's the reason most guys never see results at all. Mistake 16, quitting in the awkward phase. When growing your hair, months 3 through 7 is when your hair looks the worst. It's too long for a clean cut, too short for any real styles, and shrinkage makes it look like zero progress. Your family's asking when you're cutting it, and if you're in that exact phase right now, here's what I wish someone had told me. Every single person you've ever seen with long, healthy hair sat in that same ugly phase and chose not to quit. The difference between them and the guys who restart for the 4th time isn't genetics. It's that they took monthly stretched length photos, so they had actual proof it was growing, even when it didn't look like it. They had go-to styles for the weird lengths, mini twists, sponge curls, even just a hat that doesn't crush your hair. So keep pushing, and you're through the hardest part. Comment below the mistakes you've been making, and grab that free cheat sheet linked below so you've got every mistake and fix in one place for your next wash day. And don't forget to check out Breath Death. Let's keep glowing up.
Every single word a load of clip and I don't miss enough. Mirror on the mic, so when I rap it's just a different us. Pressure in my pen can turn the diamond back to kitten dust. I told y'all, I'm done playing, I'm going animal. Doing damage, get in my way, you'll be collateral. Blood in every bar, just let the ink fill up the catacombs. Pray for the prey, cause every day is a sabbatical.